Zombie Zeke here. If you like zombies and you like surviving, why are you not playing zombie survival game? Oh, fresh brains. I hope there's someone out there receiving this transmission. The zombies have taken over. Everything's gone. Everything is gone. There's just 2 to 6 of us left, and we're gathered around the tabletop. Send help. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the show. It's Tuesday. Roll for initiative. That's right, everyone. Another Tabletop Tuesday is upon us. This is the show where we discuss all the awesome and wonderful things that have gathered us around the table through the years. And today, we're diving into the long-running and prolific game Zombies. That's zombies with 3 exclamation marks. If it's not 3, it's an imposter, and, well, it's probably already eating your brain, so never mind. Zombies is a tile-based board game designed ideally for 2 to 6 players. It's put out by Twilight Creations Inc., formed by designer Todd Breitenstein, I hope I pronounced that right, and his wife. Sadly, Todd left us in 2013, taken by cancer, and I may be over a decade late, but my sympathies to the family. Twilight Creations keeps on going, however, and their website is in the description below. They're based in Taylor Mill, Kentucky, so howdy, neighbor. Getting back on track. Zombies is also an homage game, paying tribute to the numerous presentations of zombies in pop culture, especially film and more especially the films of legend George A. Romero along with Sam Raimi. The initial game consists of 30 map tiles, a 50 card event deck, 6 humans, life and ammo tokens, and 100 zombies. So you'll be using 100 or more zombies. Yeah, that is awesome. In a nutshell, your humans are just trying to survive. You have a lot more movement each turn compared to the slow shamble of the zombies, and also the zombies are pathetically weak individually. It's the zombie packs that'll get you though. So you run around, try to survive. No, there's no PvP, but there is absolutely 100% throwing each other under the bus, or the horde, as it were. The game ends when the helipad map tile is placed and the players try to get there to escape, get choppered out of there. So now, once that pad is placed, things get really nasty. The most common tactic that I have seen is for people to do a little rope-a-dope with the zombies, staying out of reach and waiting for someone to run afoul of the horde. Once that happens, all the folks not actively being mauled to death make a sprint for the chopper. Get to the chopper. So yeah, you're usually just waiting for the slow one at the back of the group to stumble and become a zombie lunch to clear a path for you to survive. It's awful. It's awful fun, that is. It's also a robust game. To my knowledge, there's just about 19 expansions for this little game. I personally own the first 5, but I stopped buying because the box said the end, and I believed it. Well, it turns out that wasn't true, and the game kept it chugging right along. So now I've got several expansions to get eventually, daggone it. Zombie Corps was the first expansion. It introduced a military base and several new cards, along with government-enhanced super zombies. As someone that grew up alongside chemical plant pollution, this hits pretty close to home for me. The third expansion, Mall Walkers, was an homage to the Dawn of the Dead, especially the old 78 version, which if you haven't watched it, it's amazing. It's peak period craft. Watch it at least, I watch it at least once a year. But Mall Walkers introduced a mall, more cards, and event system movement rules for crawling around big air vents. Not Dead Yet came out as expansion 3.5 and was just 50 cards. Hence, Twilight considered it half an expansion and gave it the .5 moniker. The End, the last expansion I purchased, as I believed it actually was the end. Yes, I believe the Blair Witch Project was a documentary the first time I saw it too, so what? But The End was actually a standalone game, or could be married to the core one as well. It introduced a mountain range where you're trying to assemble the pages of the Book of the Dead, which will end the zombie apocalypse. This one introduced zombie dogs, which have been a hit here in our house. Just ask a couple of my characters, they'll tell you. Then Twilight went and released more expansions. We had Schools Out Forever, introducing a school, more cards, and guts tokens. Then there was 6 Feet Under, taking us into the sewers and subways. They had a clever little one after that, dubbing it expansion 6.66, called Fill in the, and there was a blank space to fill in, where players create their own map tiles and event cards using blank ones supplied in the game. To my knowledge, this is the first and only time a game company has tried this trick, but feel free to correct me in the comments. Send in the Clowns came next, sure to be a hit with anyone that just adores creepy clowns. This introduced a circus as an alternate starting location, and we had Jailbreak set in a penitentiary. Zombies weren't the only danger in this one, as there was a mechanic for dropping the soap. Oh, yeah. But then we got Ashes to Ashes, taking us into a cemetery. We had Feeding the Addiction, which was also an alternate base set that introduced us to the addiction mechanic. We had Death Incorporated, also a standalone that introduced us to corporate masterminding, always a favorite around these parts. And we had the Zombie Zoo with the lions and the tigers and the bears. Oh my. DEFCON Z came out after that, which got launched from a Kickstarter, also a standalone game. Space Bites introduced a space station where you actually set out the map at the beginning, and beyond that, you're in space now, so that's cool. Then there was another one, Bites the Dust, taking us into the desert and introducing the thirst rules. Dead Time Stories took us in a more narrative direction. It was more story driven, and it included rules to incorporate it with the humans and the Martians games, also by Twilight. Vegas came out after that, giving us Elvis zombies, Penn and Teller zombies, Showgirl zombies, zombie dealers, and then there was a Museum of the Weird, giving us the conveyor. Never underestimate a conveyor in a horror movie. I'm just offering that out there. Having just watched that episode of X-Files, yeah. To date, there have also been second, third, and 20th anniversary editions of the various games and expansions and such. And there's no indication that older or new editions are better or worse, just re releases with maybe some rules tweaks, art tweaks, stuff like that. So don't worry about buying the wrong edition as far as I can tell. Now, y'all may be interested in knowing that there's a soundtrack out there for this game put out by Twilight Syndicate, nominated for an Emmy Award. Also, Bag O puts out a line of figurines to be used with the game, some of which glow in the dark, so that can be fun like if you want to play by candlelight or such. But then it might be hard to read the cards, but whatever. It's just putting it out there. There's also an old video game, but I mentioned that in passing as it was made for Windows 7 or 8, so you'd have to get an emulator or some such to play it. So I imagine there's that. But that's about the long and short of it. Games take about 10 minutes to set up, and playtime runs about an hour or so, depending. It's very random. Dice rolls can make or break you, so don't get attached to your survivor. It's labeled as strategic, but having played games like, Risk and such, I wouldn't call it strategy so much as stay alive and wait for someone to fumble and give you an opening. Final point I'd like to make is that this game is seriously cheap, absolutely affordable for nearly any budget, and it's fun. My gosh, is it fun! You won't feel that hour, trust me. And if you're like me, you'll be chomping for another game after the first. So absolutely, go check it out. Give it a try. You won't regret it. Just be prepared to see the true nature of your friends around the table come out. Anywho, that's about all I got for today. I just wanted to give this little game a big shout out as it absolutely deserves it. Thank y'all for giving me a moment of your time. I hope I entertained you if nothing else. And if I did, might I impose upon you for a like? Algorithm loves it when you do. It helps my itty bitty little channel oh so much. But thank you again for stopping by. I appreciate y'all. And welcome to all the new faces that have stepped by and subscribed. I hope I put a smile on your face with my rambling and my antics. Now, it's absolutely a beautiful day, so get out there, y'all. Roll some dice, play yourself a good game, make some memories, pop in a good movie, watch a cartoon, read a comic book, drink a little water, and as always, have a good one.